You're watching KWQC TV, the news leader, making a difference in the Quad Cities. Live from the Quad Cities, with Morgan Otier and Kyle Keel, this is Quad Cities Live.
Today on QCL, financial education made fun. How Blackhawk Bank and Trust is turning pennies into possibilities with its Little Hawk Club, sparking a lifetime of smart money habits.
And speaking of saving, from hidden fees to overstuffed suitcases, it's easy to let vacation spending spiral, but we'll learn a few savvy strategies in our financial moment with Heidi.
And make your reservations now for Mother's Day at the Machine Shed. We'll learn more about that while we cook up a popular menu item in the QCL kitchen. Hello and welcome to Quad Cities Live on this Thursday, April 24th. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Morgan Otier.
And I'm Kyle Keel. Something extraordinary is about to happen and light up the Figge Art Museum in downtown Davenport.
Yes, it's called Evanescent Field, and it is a monumental light sculpture by world-renowned artist Leo Villarreal, transforming the iconic glass facade of the Figge into a living canvas of light, color, and motion. Very exciting stuff. And here with an update on this exciting project is Figge Executive Director and CEO Melissa Moore, along with Visit Quad Cities President and CEO Dave Harrell. Thank you both for being here today.
Oh, it's a pleasure. Thanks for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, this is super duper exciting.
It really is.
I cannot wait. I mean, even the other guests in the room before we got started, they're like, I can't wait for this event. So, Melissa, let's start with the basics. What is Evanescent Field for folks who haven't heard much about this project yet? What makes it so unique?
So Evanescent Field is the largest public sculpture in Iowa. It is one of the most inspired and largest light sculptures in the region. Basically what we're doing is working with world-renowned artist Leo Villarreal, who has concepted this light sculpture in the glass facade of the museum. So everywhere that you see glass at the Figge, which is everywhere, there are over 3,000 feet of fixtures currently being installed. Leo himself will come and author the piece using coding that is reactive to our community here. This is a piece made for the Quad Cities and a gift to our community.
That is amazing.
Yeah, I remember when this was announced, and I can't believe it's already here.
I know, time flies.
And so are they already testing some of the lights?
They have. So if you, have you driven by?
I have, yes.
It's startling, but it's also so exciting. So art is really, this is really bringing art to the public. It's anything that elicits a response from you, and we're seeing that even in the testing of the fixtures. So I cannot wait to see how the public responds when we actually have the official piece.
Yeah, it's very cool. And, for folks who aren't familiar with his work, with Villarreal's work, he's done some pretty other amazing projects like San Francisco Bay, the lighting there, the bridge. So really, really cool stuff. And we are so fortunate and lucky to be able to have this gift here in our community. So Dave, speaking of that, let's talk a little bit about impact of this installation. What do you think the impact will be here, directly in the Quad Cities community?
Well, directly, I think it's a lot about resident pride. I think we're so proud of the Figge Art Museum. It's a shared and common community value. It's a leader in arts and culture, and it's activated, year round. And I think the fact that we get to emotionally connect with the Figge means a lot to the Quad citizens. The things that they're doing every day are really helping to transform our region, and we're just so grateful for the work of the professional team like Melissa and her crew and the volunteers and everybody that's connected to this amazing destination asset.
And you talk about it being a destination, it's also kind of an icon in the Quad Cities. I mean, if you Google Quad Cities, you get a downtown Davenport riverfront and you see the Figge. So I mean, this is just going to make it even more of a,
it is. I think we firmly believe that we're the creative capital of the Midwest. We really stand by that statement, and so having a gift like this is going to amplify our profile, not only in Iowa and Illinois, but we think globally. And so the chance to be able to illuminate the night sky and have the Figge kind of be this beacon is something we're certainly proud of, but it's a great marketing and brand visibility thing that we can kind of leverage to our benefit. And it's all about quality of life and quality of place, and this thing is going to just come to life, and it's going to be amazing.
It's just so cool, right?
It is cool.
It really is.
To keep it simple, very cool.
Yeah, it really is. It's beautiful. So Melissa, talk a little bit more about why this is considered really a quote, once in a century gift to this community.
So this is something we've been talking about since the building opened 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Sir David Chipperfield's the architect. He always envisioned the building being illuminated for the very reasons that Dave has
Really?
highlighted here. He did. And it's just not something that was fully realized at that time. And so to be able to work together with the state of Iowa through the Destination Iowa grant, with so many community members and donors to the museum to realize this project now for our 100th anniversary of the collection's founding is a pretty big deal. And the collection itself was founded based on a gift of art to the city of Davenport before there was a museum. For us to be able to give this gift to the community to celebrate 100 years and to look at the next 100 years and all that will come is pretty powerful.
Yeah.
And I mean, this is a huge gift. So Dave, what does it mean for Davenport to be the home of the largest public art installation?
Well, it's such a big piece of our story. I think the fact that we can use it to promote tourism, we can promote quality of life, we can use this as an opportunity in our portfolio of destination assets, and to be able to use it on the marketing side of things. I mean, you know, quite selfishly, it's a great marketing asset, has been for many, many years.
Definitely.
And you know, our riverfront, which obviously the Figge is literally right on the riverfront, the ability to have Main Street Landing come alive here soon. And as we want to become this internationally recognized regional riverfront destination, a project like this gift is going to help really elevate the Quad Cities to this global audience. And that's really what it's all about. And you know, the Figge is a place for everyone, and we want to make sure that we reinforce that message over and over. Whether you're 8 or 80, you can be part of that amazing and immersive experience, and it's just such an incredible moment. This is something, like we said, that quite frankly is not going to happen again in our lifetime. So we strongly encourage you to get down and be part of this excitement, because it's just going to be a huge deal.
Well, and one thing that I don't know if necessarily everyone understands is this piece, it responds to its surroundings, as you alluded to, in real time based on all of this coding and everything that is involved. So Melissa, how do you hope that the public will engage with it?
So we hope that they will engage with it in any way that makes sense to them. When we think about creativity and art, we do think it's for everyone. We think that creativity comes in many forms. And we think that it's also important for people to see that something that they may not have considered to be an artwork, like a coded building, you know, thinking about digital art and the future of art, it can be, and art is in your daily lives. So getting people to look at the community a little bit differently, maybe find art in other ways, because they have realized through curiosity and awe, we hope awe-inspiring installations, that art is all around us. This is a creative capital.
Yeah, so obviously this is a huge deal for the Quad Cities, so we got to make it a big deal with the public. Got a big glow-up party coming up May 17th.
We do, and we hope everyone comes and joins us for that. So May 17th is the official unveiling of the final piece. What you've been seeing on the imagery, these are renderings. So the piece is being authored in the next couple of weeks as we head toward May 17th. We will all get to see it for the first time finalized together on May 17th. Leo Villarreal himself will be here.
Oh, goodness.
Yep, so he'll be the one to really to illuminate this, and we hope everyone can join us for Glow Up.
Yes, this is a public watch party. I mean, this is your opportunity to see this thing kind of unveiled in a way, so to speak. And it is free admission as well at the Figge during this event. So, I mean, it makes it even better. Then after that, now this is a ticketed event. There's an afterglow party. This is going to be just a ton of fun.
Because the building at this point is going to be illuminated. And what some people may not realize is that you'll be able to experience the lights from the inside as well as the outside in some of the areas where the building is double pane glass. So like our lobby or our cafe where the afterglow is happening. So we're just really excited to celebrate with everyone.
Oh gosh, I know. Everyone's looking forward to it.
It's exciting.
So the Glow Up Public Watch Party, it is Saturday, May 17th from 7 to 10 p.m. The Afterglow Party runs from 10 until midnight, and for tickets to that, just head to the Figge's website, figgeartmuseum.org. You will see it right there on the homepage. Melissa and Dave, thank you so much for coming in and chatting with us.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Thank you
so much.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yes, coming up on QCL, teaching kids confidence, curiosity, and the value of $1. Now Blackhawk Bank and Trust is helping children dream big on National Teach Kids to Save Day.
You're watching Quad Cities Live.
Today is National Teach Children to Save Day, and whether it's pennies in a jar or a brand new savings account, there's no better time to start. Here to help us out is Erica Smith from Blackhawk Bank and Trust. Erica, welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here today. This is a really fun topic. So, as we mentioned, today is Teach Kids to Save Day. So, why do you think that this really is such an important topic for families?
Sure. It's so important to establish that saving and healthy financial habits from a young age, right? Our kids are sponges, and we know that. So we're trying to instill that knowledge early on and really generate healthy habits to go forward with.
Yeah, and some research really shows that kids start forming money habits as early as age 7, which, you know what, I kind of get it. I kind of see it now in my 6-year-old, so it does make sense to me. So what kinds of habits should we be really encouraging from the start?
Absolutely. I think I've learned from my kiddo that kids are visual learners, right? And so that's the importance of maybe, say, a piggy bank.
Yes.
So they have a place to put their money and a visual key to really start seeing, oh, wow, that's full now. And we can go to the teller line, deposit that, and save and watch your account grow.
Yeah, it's exciting to, you know, kind of like they shake it around and see how heavy it is, and it's adorable. So you have something for kiddos. It's called the Little Hawk Club. So how did this start? How did this initiative start, and what makes it, you know, more unique and different from a traditional savings account?
Sure. So we have really started to focus on generational banking. We're looking at family needs and how we can meet those needs a little bit better, and we decided to focus on the youth. We have a really great club for those ages 50 or better, the Silver Hawk Club, and so then we decided, okay, we need to get the whole family involved and start from a young age because of that research that we talked about earlier. So we started the Little Hawk Club to give kiddos a little something extra for forming those healthy financial habits. And so when you open an account, you get a gift, you get a piggy bank, but we also send you a fun surprise on your birthday. And anytime you visit a branch, you get a special surprise as well.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah,
Something to look forward to when you make a little deposit.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then throughout the year, we have fun events actually too. We have a couple coming up. We'll have some around Christmas time too. But for example, around Mother's Day, we have a treasure for mom, so they can come in and create something for their parents. So it's something beyond also just banking, right? We're establishing a relationship.
Yeah, you're providing like good vibes along with the banking. A lot of adults are kind of like, oh, gotta go to the bank, or like gotta pay the mortgage, and kids are starting out. You don't want them to feel that way, right? You want them to have those good connections when it comes to finances and things like that. So yeah, they show up. They maybe get a little prize or something every time they come to the bank. So it's kind of like celebrating small wins.
Absolutely.
Why do you think it's important to celebrate those small wins with children?
I think it's important that they feel ownership over something, right? And they can learn how to establish goals from that ownership. Maybe when they went to the bank earlier, it was always for mom or dad, but this time it's for them, right? They get to deposit to something that's all their own. And I think that really makes them feel some pride and a sense of importance that's going to help them hopefully keep those healthy habits going.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and this program in ways can be tailored as they get older.
Yes.
So how are you able to do that as our 7-year-olds become 11-year-olds and 13-year-olds?
I know. So we started thinking about what a teenager might need from their banking relationship. And so we did, we can now have 14-year-olds open a checking account.
Oh, wow.
Now parents are still on these accounts, so not too much to worry there. Yes. But they can also get a debit card at that age as well. All manageable from the app. There's still parental controls and things like that in there. But we did open that up so that 14-year-olds, 14 to 18, while they're still within the Little Hawk Club, they can open that checking account and get a debit card. Okay,
wonderful. And yeah, it's all very easy to still be involved in as a parent, so that's good. So what are a few simple things that parents can start teaching their kids when it comes to savings, like even before opening up their own savings account?
Even before opening, sure, giving them a visual way, right? So the savings account, maybe we haven't made it into the bank yet, but they can still have their own piggy bank at home, or as my son calls it, a penny bank.
Yes.
Still fitting, right? Because it's a place for their loose change, that birthday money that they get.
Yeah.
Maybe not teaching them right away to go to a store and spend it.
I'm glad that you said that, and because I was wondering if you would say that is, you don't always necessarily want to go like, what's that one thing that you're saving up for?
Right.
Because then it's kind of focused on maybe the wrong wrong thing sometimes. You want to set yourself up, right, to be financially successful. So, so you talked about some Little Hawk Club events, and you've got some fun ones coming up. So you talked about the Mother's Day one.
Yes.
There's another one in June, a Chalk It Up celebration. So this kind of is all with your celebrating your anniversary as well.
Absolutely.
A birthday party.
Yes, in June we get to celebrate our anniversary, and so we thought it would be fun to open up the branches with 17 of them. You want to draw people in, give them another fun reason to visit the bank. It happens to fall on a Saturday, which is perfect. No one's in school, right? They can come and
enjoy.
Yeah, decorate our sidewalks and chalk it up for our anniversary.
That is fun. That is a really cute way to get the kids involved and to celebrate. And your outreach, you know, at Blackhawk Bank and Trust, it really does go beyond the walls of the bank. So before we let you go, just talk a little bit about some of the things that you guys like to do as an organization to get out in the community.
Sure. As a community bank, we take financial literacy seriously, and especially with the Little Hawk Club, but even before its existence, it started at all ages. We were in schools, and we're actually ramping up that effort now to get into classrooms and talk about different things, whether it's high schoolers talking about credit building activities or a class of kindergartners, you know, talking about the simpler side of saving, but all the way up to senior living centers talking about budgeting and things like that. So it's all ages. Anything financial literacy, we really like to get involved.
That's wonderful. Well, that's great. To get your child signed up for the Little Hawk Club, just visit one of these 17 Blackhawk Bank and Trust locations in Iowa and Illinois. And if you want to learn more, visit Blackhawk Bank and Trust on the web, and that website is choosethechief.com. Erica, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you so much.
Of course. Speaking of saving money, it's almost time for our financial moment with Heidi. Stick around as she shares valuable advice to help you save money on travel. Dreaming of your next getaway? Well, before you book your flight or pack your bags, pause, because a great trip starts with smart planning. Today in our financial moment with Heidi, we are sharing simple, stress-free ways to save money on travel. Joining us as always is QCL financial contributor Heidi Heuskamp-Collins. Heidi, welcome back.
Good to be here.
Yes, I'm happy to have you. I just think this is such a great topic, especially for right now. We've got, you know, a little over a month before a lot of those kiddos get out of school, and a lot of people are planning some travel, especially over the summer months. So talk a little bit about your first point, which is save first and then kind of plan. Like, why is this such a game changer?
This is a big deal. A lot of people, what they do is they, you know, do the fun things.
Yeah.
They book the flight, they get the hotel, they book the excursions, you know, and they just put it on their card. They put it on their credit card.
Yes.
And guess what? Like a year later, it's still on their credit
It's still
card.
on their card. Yes.
Right. And I see it every week.
Yeah.
So what you do, turn that on its head and plan or save the money first.
Okay.
So have a dedicated savings account, you know, trip money or trip account or whatever you want to do, and save from every paycheck and build up an amount.
Yeah.
And then from that, use, you know, book the big things first. The hotel reservations or the resort, you know, and the airfare, and then build in. It's just like a big puzzle,
Right.
You know, but don't go over your budget.
Yeah, it's like a big puzzle, but because you've done this saving on the front end, you have all the pieces.
You have all the pieces and you've got the funds, so then you're going to come back from your trip and you're not going to be faced with these big credit card bills that are 21% now, right?
Oh, I know.
You know, and that you're paying off a year or two later.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, that's a good way of doing it. You know, if you think you want to take one trip, two trips throughout the year, or maybe you think that there might be a surprise trip, just always be putting something away from a paycheck toward that. So good advice. Let's talk about packing. How can overpacking actually cost you more money?
It's expensive.
Than you think.
You know, if you have just a carry-on, you're going to save a lot of money.
Yes.
It's expensive to pay for those you know, checked bags. And, you know, really and truly, you can get a lot into a carry-on. You know, if you've never seen them, invest in some packing cubes.
Yeah.
They help you keep, you know, you can pack twice as much, I promise you. And you keep, you know, your suitcase more organized, you know, wear mix and match things so you can get more than one wear out of it.
Yeah, and that kind of went with like our clothing when we were talking about clothing and staples and things like that. So making sure that you're thinking of that when you're planning for a vacation and saving money, because it does get very expensive, especially if you have a whole family trip and everybody's going to be checking a suitcase. That right there ends up being the cost of a plane ticket oftentimes.
Exactly, right.
Yeah, okay. So you always recommend working with a travel agent. So what are some of the benefits to that people may not realize? You know, everybody thinks with the internet and all the stuff that we can find on there that we can do everything ourselves. But you say, hey, don't. Hire a travel agent.
Always get a travel agent.
Okay.
There's this big misperception out there that you're actually paying a travel agent to help you. Nothing could be farther from the truth. The travel agent is comped by the hotels and the resorts and the airplanes, you know, the companies, you know, and the travel experience companies that you're booking the experiences and the vacation things with.
Okay.
So you're not paying anything out of pocket. And travel agents have access to big savings that they pass on to you.
Right.
And the other great thing about travel agents is they have this know-how. You know, they've been around, they've traveled a lot, they've planned a lot of trips. They can get really neat experiences on your vacation that weren't even on your radar.
Yeah, you're absolutely right about that.
You know, taking a cooking class or going on a foodie tour or something like that that you didn't even know you didn't know.
Yeah, no, you are right about that. And I always think about that when someone's planning a trip to maybe like another country or somewhere they've absolutely not been. It's like you can Pinterest your whole trip if you want to, but you could find yourself in some trouble doing that. So why not have somebody outsource it and do it for you?
Right.
Okay, so kind of sticking with that though, like let's say somebody does want to book their own airfare. Okay, they're going to do that themselves. What are your kind of do's and don'ts when it comes to maybe finding a good deal for that?
Right. So if you're going to do it on your own, then there's a resource called Skyscanner.
Okay.
And Skyscanner recommends that if you're flying domestically, the best time to book tickets are 2 to 3 weeks ahead of time.
Okay.
On a Tuesday.
Okay.
At 5 a.m.
Wow, that's a hot tip.
Yes. Now, if you're going to go international, you want to, you know, give a lot more lead time.
Right.
So you want to book 5 to 6 months in advance on a Tuesday at 5 a.m.
Oh my gosh, that's good advice. I find it like it would be difficult for me personally to go like, I want to go to Disney World, but I'm going to wait until 3 weeks out before to book my tickets. But
that's what the airlines they know that.
That's what they know that we feel that way. So that's a really good idea. All right, Heidi, thank you. If you want to learn more about what Heidi and I talked about today, or really the variety of services that Heidi can help you with, visit her website, hhcinvestments.net. And we do lots of segments together here on QCL, and you can see them by visiting kwqc.com and clicking the tab for Quad Cities Live. As always, Heidi, thank you. Lots of fun today.
Good to be here.
Yes, thank you so much. Coming up in our second half hour of QCL, antiques, collectibles, and hidden gems. This Saturday, one of the Quad Cities' most beloved flea markets is back, and it's bigger than ever. And later, we're in the kitchen with the Machine Shed, cooking up a fan favorite, plus a sneak peek at Mother's Day brunch, catering tips, and dessert that is impossible to resist.
And we've had a very warm day out there. Temperatures approaching 80 degrees, and we're getting a couple isolated showers popping up on First Alert Live Doppler radar. We'll take a look at where those are right now and the rain that's ahead coming up in your First Alert forecast after the break.
Accurate and reliable. This is your First Alert forecast with meteorologist Kyle Keel.
Well, a little more cloud cover than earlier on our Everywhere Network cameras, but we do have a shower there right around Edgington that's popping up just south of the Quad Cities on our First Alert Live Sky View, and we are going to continue to track a few of those showers here this evening with more rain, maybe a couple isolated thunderstorms heading into the overnight hours. Fortunately, no severe weather, but this First Alert Day we're highlighting already for Monday into Tuesday for the signal of the potential for some strong to severe thunderstorms. All threats are on the table here. We're talking large hail, damaging wind, maybe even a few tornadoes. However, there's a lot of details we don't know. The timing of the storms, the placement of the storms and how widespread they're going to be and where that highest risk is going to be. So we still have several days to fine-tune this forecast, stay up to date with the First Alert Weather app, and of course the First Alert Weather team will be on top of this. Already a level 3 out of 5 risk here, just getting into our western counties, but really most of the state of Iowa in that enhanced risk for severe weather. We've got that level 2 risk that encompasses the rest of the TV6 viewing area. So the general idea is that this is going to develop here with a strong area of low pressure and cold front somewhere in Iowa and then move off to the east. And then once that front does move east on Tuesday, it looks like it's going to take the severe threat with it. So it just depends on how quickly that front moves. So right now we'll let the first alert day into Tuesday ride, but that could be taken away here depending on how fast that cold front moves through. So that's a new trend that we're watching here today, and we'll continue to watch the trends here over the next few days. So let's talk about the rain right now. Again, we can kind of rest assured this evening that we're not going to see any severe weather, but we do have a few showers popping up here on First Alert live Doppler radar. I mentioned that one in Edgington just popping up really in the last 10 minutes or so, but right on I-74 near Woodhall, this cloud really grew and producing a heavy shower right over Woodhall right now. You go a little farther to the south, Galesburg, we had a shower move through. Now we have just west of town a shower, and then you head down toward Berwick. We've got a heavier shower popping up. And so this is going to be kind of the pulsy activity here over the next few hours, but it's this stationary front that's going to continue to track off to the south and east that will provide us the focal point for that potential of some showers, maybe a few rumbles of thunder here heading into the overnight hours. Temperatures bottom out in the upper 50s, so it will be a very warm night ahead. So ExactTrack shows just a couple of showers kind of festering through the area here this evening. Otherwise, it's just an increase in clouds. And then we see the scattered showers move in after midnight and heading toward daybreak here on your day on Friday. A latest run of ExactTrack and a couple of our other high-resolution models want to kind of dry this rain out as it crosses the Mississippi River. So I think a lot of your Friday will be dry, but you'll notice that northwesterly wind moving in. That means temperatures will be quite a bit cooler than today. In fact, 15 to 20 degrees cooler. We'll have temperature, well, I should say 10 to 15 degrees cooler. Temperatures will be in the upper 60s here, maybe close to 70 in some areas. That's kind of where we'll be here on Saturday as well. Lots of sunshine expected, maybe some clouds in the afternoon. Highs back in the mid 60s. We'll start off in the 40s here this weekend, but highs back to the 70s on Sunday. And then Monday is the day to watch. 84 degrees, very summer-like that day. Wow. We're very confident in the fact that it will be warm, borderline hot, and we'll have very humid conditions as well with dew points in the 60s. So that's kind of a couple of the ingredients we need for that potential of severe weather, but still a lot of time to update that forecast. So stay with TV6 and the First Alert Weather team for updates.
Always working hard. All right.
Yes.
Kyle, thank you. Well, if you are looking for vintage finds, one-of-a-kind treasures, or just a fun way to spend a Saturday, don't miss the Rock Island Conservation Club's annual flea market.
Yeah, it's happening this Saturday on the club's property in Milan from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m., and it's expected to be their largest flea market to date. Joining us now from the Rock Island Conservation Club with all the details is Sue Pienta. Sue, thank you for joining us. Welcome back.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for having me again.
Yes,
so
this is a rain or shine event, and as we saw on Saturday, I mean, we've got really a good weekend for this event.
I'm holding you to it.
Yeah.
Yes. So let's talk a little bit more about the club because it's been around for 86 years.
1939 it started.
Wow.
By 7 guys that started raising pheasants and then putting them back out into the wild. And then from there, the club just kind of grew.
Yeah.
So we have 110 acres and 80 acres is a lot of water. We have 3 lakes out there, so people can come out and they do fishing, kayaking, picnicking, hiking, whatever. We have a couple clubhouses, one that you can rent for events, pavilions that you can rent for events. So it's just a great little place in the Quad City area, and best kept secret around.
It really is, yeah.
And it is a membership-based club, so we do have $75 for a membership, and that includes your family. Okay. If you're 65 or older, it's only $60, and that's for the year. 365 days a year we are open, so you can go out and enjoy it. Every day.
Yeah, and you can help support as well this weekend with your annual flea market, which is just a really popular event. This is a free admission event.
Correct.
as
No
well.
charge.
No charge at all. Okay, so
Except for buying whatever you
yeah,
need.
right,
Sure,
right.
of course.
We said flea market, not
Yes.
free market. Yeah, this is really great. So talk a little bit about what we're going to see when we show up on Saturday.
Okay, so we have a lot of people are going to be bringing flea market items. We also have crafters and we have some bakers. We have some wood art that's going to be out there.
see some of that right there.
We have some people that are just going to bring yard sale items
love that.
and such. So it's just going to be a mixture of everything. We have outdoor vendors, inside vendors. So you just need, there's a lot of area to go ahead and cover as you're
Sure.
walking. So it'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So as you're
So-
walking around and getting all these items, you'll get hungry as well, and you'll have plenty of food options.
Yeah, we do. We have somebody out there that's going to be doing tacos and breakfast burritos, loaded nachos. So they'll be out there. And then, like I said, we have other people that are going to be doing some baked items. They come out every
great.
year, and they usually sell out just about every year.
Yeah.
We do have a ATM inside the clubhouse.
perfect.
So if
Good
you
to
need
know.
cash, you run out and you sold bought everything, you can come in and get some more money.
No, I'm so happy that you said
Yes.
that. 'Cause that is knowledge that
We have all
need.
been there.
Yeah,
yes.
especially you young people, you don't carry cash.
You are you are correct.
I have $3.
And thank you for calling me young. So these are some of the items that people will see out there. So you can find some really cool like antiques and things
Yeah.
like that.
Well, that's an antique jack for a car. I'm
Yeah.
not sure
I was
what
gonna say, what
kind.
is this? You can tell I've never changed a tire.
Yeah.
I
So,
do, don't worry.
I don't know if you've ever seen one of these.
I
but-
have.
Yes, the
No,
pencil sharpener.
No, I'm not that young.
Yeah, pencil
Those
sharpeners.
are fun.
Yeah,
I
that was
used to
the
love doing
water
that.
cooler of
Yeah.
elementary
Yeah.
school.
Oh, yeah.
Old coffee grinders. We are going to have somebody out there
that's
selling
cool.
some fresh eggs.
Okay.
Coke, the beautiful Coke items. Do you know Topio Gigio from the Ed Sullivan Show? Yeah, you're way
I'm
too young
familiar.
for that.
Cute,
So,
though. Very cute.
I don't know if you know what this item is here. It's
Squirt.
Squirt.
The drink?
So
Yeah.
it is. But back in the day
Love
when we were
Squirt.
younger,
Love
we
that.
had screen doors all the time.
Yeah.
And so they would put these over the screen door because us kids, when we were running outside,
You
would
would-
push through the screen all the time. So they would put these across so that
that's
when you're
cool.
running outside, you're hitting that instead of pushing the screen out and Dad has to change the
Wait,
screen
I love
again.
that. I love that you have that knowledge.
Yeah.
And honestly, that type of thing still happens today.
Yes,
so
it does,
Maybe we
yeah.
should
It
bring
does.
these back.
Yeah, you know what? I thought this was just a normal sign, so I had
Yeah,
no idea.
no.
See, you learn a thing or two when you go out
And
there
then
as
how
well.
about the old tin
Yeah.
pails? No plastic here.
A little shovel here, too.
And
I
look
bet that
at
makes a better sandcastle.
I'm
I
sure.
bet you it does,
I'm sure
yes.
it does. So, but this is just some of the items that people have out there, and they're going to have a lot more. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And then clunky vintage bracelets, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Whatever. So.
Very, very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we have the flea market coming up this Saturday. Good weather for it. It's April 26th. And you also have an open house coming up that we wanted to mention. It comes up
Yeah.
May 4th, and the annual picnic is Saturday, July 12th. So we're going to have
Correct.
all of this information on our website.
Yeah.
And if you want to learn more about the club or become a member, you can visit riconservationclub.org. And as always, Sue, thank you so much for joining us.
Gonna be a
and
great
giving us a
weekend.
preview of these items.
Yeah.
Yes,
Thank you for
so
having
much.
me. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Still to come on Quad Cities Live, it's not just about what's on the plate, it's about the people, the passion, and the made-from-scratch tradition. The Machine Shed is in the QCL kitchen next.
You're watching Quad Cities Live.
When it comes to comfort food with heart, the Machine Shed doesn't just serve meals, they serve tradition, one made from scratch dish at a time.
They do, and today we are getting a closer look at how the Machine Shed turns pork into perfection with one very popular menu item. Joining us in the QCL kitchen is Jennifer Wolf and Chef Mark Thompson. Welcome back, guys.
Thanks for having us back.
Thank you for being here. Okay, so Chef, we are starting off with a fan favorite
Yes.
menu item. So talk a little bit about the Parmesan crusted American cut.
Yeah, so today we're going to be making the Parmesan crusted American cut, and then we're also going to make the actual butter crust for it.
Yes.
Oh.
So Kyle, if you want to get in there.
Oh, yeah, get the butter.
Yep, get the butter, throw it right in there.
All right, so you said about a handful. and
Yep,
you're not
about a
gonna judge me
handful,
with how
yep.
much I put it in, so
Okay,
we'll do
so then
that.
we're going to put a little bit of breadcrumbs in there.
Okay. Handful again? or-
Yep.
Okay.
And then we're going to put some Asiago cheese.
Okay. I'm just going to keep doing
Yep.
handfuls until you tell me.
Yep. Keep on going. Yep, bam, yep.
I like your
Can't get too
style.
crazy with it.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, all right.
So just everything. So what
Yep.
is this?
So that's going to be garlic, roasted garlic right there. And if you want to get garlicky, you can put a little bit more in there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we
I
love
do.
garlic.
We love
Yep.
garlic.
Okay. All right. And then we're gonna add a little color, some Parmesan right there.
Okay.
A little S&P right there.
S&P.
That's salt and
All right,
pepper.
salt and pepper. Yes, yes.
Thank you.
Great. Salt and pepper.
Thank you so much.
All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to get in there, and then we're going to mix that up.
Mix it all up. Okay.
Yeah. Kind of
so-
squish it together a little
Okay, I
bit.
was going to say, yeah, with the butter. Okay, so I didn't put enough butter in it. All right.
A little
All right, there we
more.
go.
Well, while he's mixing that around, I'm going to talk to you, Jennifer. So tell us a little bit just about the whole made-from-scratch mentality with Machine Shed Restaurant, because it's not just a slogan for you guys.
No, not at all. So also farm to table. We definitely work with a lot of the local farms, even with the cheese, like when we talked about the charcuterie class, Cinnamon Ridge, they provide our cheese for us for our cheddar melts. And then also we get our produce locally. When the season's around, we're going to be getting our corn from the local gentleman that has his own stand. I can't remember his name right now, my apologies.
That's
but
okay.
So we're going to be getting fresh produce from him as well. So just everything is fresh, made daily, everything like that. So we have like basically no freezers. Everything, like I said, all I can say is fresh enough. Honestly,
No, that is great, and you know, people can really tell, and that makes a difference to a lot of folks who visit. Along with that, you guys, the restaurants have a passion for pork.
Yes.
Talk about what, you know, this is a pork dish that we're talking about today. So describe what it means to the menu.
So pork is one of big items on our menu. We've got several other options. We've got, of course, the one that we've made today. We've got our stuffed pork loin. We've got a stuffed pork chop, a single chop. We can do a breaded tenderloin as well, unbreaded tenderloin. So it's just pork is a major product for the state of Iowa. So that way we're definitely a big pork supporter with that.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
Yeah, so we completed.
Oh, you did it.
We completed the crust. I did it with the help of Chef Mark. So
Yes, looks very, very good.
And it smells good as well.
good. Yeah.
It smells good.
Good
So
job.
when we usually do this at the restaurant, we'll make this Parmesan crust, and then we'll charbroil the pork loin, and then we'll top it, and then we'll blast it in the oven at work, and then it's good to go.
It looks amazing.
And there's the finished product.
And there's the finished product. Wonderful.
Yes.
And we're not even just talking about food here today as well. We're talking about events. So you just alluded to the charcuterie board making class that you talked about last time you were on the show,
Very
Jennifer.
popular.
Very popular. You're hosting another paint night, and that is actually happening tonight.
It's happening tonight at 6:30. There are still tickets available for people who do want to sign up for it still. So we're really excited for it being our first one this evening, and like there's 11 people I believe signed up, so everyone's just really excited to come in and see the shed's availability for events and everything like that. So we're hoping to do more, of course, and it's just really exciting for us.
Yeah, it is.
Windmill in Fields of Gold.
Oh yeah.
All right, so we've got a Mother's Day brunch coming up as well. This is a very popular spot for Mother's Day brunch. So this is happening May 11th.
Yes.
Yes.
So 8 a.m. to 3 is when we'll be offering the brunch. That we won't be offering any menu items, so it's solely just the brunch. These photos are from our Easter one that we just had. It feels like forever ago, but it was literally just Sunday. But it went over.
We know the feeling.
What a week. What a week.
I know, right? And then it's always
Mother's Day right around the corner.
Exactly. So that was our setup. We had the brunch set up in both of our rooms because our building is so big. We're able to split up the brunch so that way there's very minimal lines for the guests. You're able to get up, get your food, and go sit down and enjoy your time with your family.
That's great.
So just some photos of that, of course. Definitely make your reservations, especially because it's Mother's Day. Nobody makes mom cook on Mother's Day. So the sooner the better. We are accepting them right now, of course, and we do get giant groups. So if you've got a group of 20 of you, definitely call the restaurant and ask.
Please don't just walk in.
Don't surprise them.
Yes, but we do accept walk-ins to the best of our ability as well. Of course, we don't turn anyone away. We definitely try to get anyone and everyone in the best that we can.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Mom's Day, you brought
Look
some
at the
beautiful
gifts.
gifts with you. So for folks who don't know, the Machine Shed gift shop is like a destination. I mean, they have all kinds of stuff there, and that's no different for Mother's Day. You've brought all of these from the gift shop here today.
So just lovely things for moms, of course. Candles. As a mom, we all love the candles. The scents are absolutely fantastic. There's an entire wall of them, and they smell absolutely amazing.
Love smelling a candle.
Oh,
I really do.
Yeah, super good. And then just
a Paloma petal.
Ooh, okay.
And then we've got cute little books that moms can fill out, grandmas can fill out. So it's like a gift from like a daily diary from the mom to their kid when they're older. Cute little things that say, I love my mom. I love that you're my mom.
That is so sweet.
Stitched.
Yeah.
Coffee mugs, of course, because we never have enough coffee mugs in our life, of course.
Never.
No. Yeah. Oh, that is awesome. Very cool.
Yeah, so we also have our meals. They can't be complete without dessert. So you got pies, including the French silk that we have here on the table. So look at all those pies. What are some of your most popular pies?
I would say probably the French silk and the Snickers pie.
Snickers pie.
Yeah, there you go.
Snickers pie is a
lot of
big,
people
big
just
one.
perked up.
Yeah.
Yep.
That is awesome. And I have a question about the pies. Is this something where, like, if you were having, let's say, a gathering for Mother's Day at somebody's home, could you pick up a pie from Machine Shed and bring it?
You most certainly could. We take pie orders every single day. We just ask for a 24-hour notice. We do have a baker there almost every single night, so everything is as fresh as can be.
That is
honestly.
awesome. Okay, that is perfect. Well, the Machine Shed Restaurant, it is located on Northwest Boulevard in Davenport. We got the address on your screen along with the phone number so you can make your reservation. To learn more, just look at the menu. Visit machineshed.com. We like to do that. Thank you both for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll see you all next time. All right, well, coming up on QCL, it's Throwback Thursday. We'll go back a few years where one of us appeared in a documentary.
Ooh. Coming up tomorrow on Quad Cities Live, California Burritos. The local family-owned restaurant is opening its second location this weekend. We'll take a closer look at that delicious menu.
And a preview of Saturday's Geneseo Art Walk, where you can experience live art demonstrations and interactive exhibits.
Plus, Dutch Days, a celebration of Dutch heritage, is happening soon in Fulton, Illinois. We'll get the scoop on all the events taking place. That and much more tomorrow at 3 on QCL. All right, well, it is time now for our fun little segment that we just started recently, Throwback Thursday. So we got a little teaser. We're throwing it back to a documentary.
A documentary. Back in 2020, August derecho. This sparked my memory yesterday because we have to update our bios on our website. And I was like talking about a big weather event.
Thanks for the reminder.
Weather event, the derecho. I was out in a storm chaser vehicle at the last station I worked at. Up around the Cedar Rapids area, and I did not know the scope of what was going on in Cedar Rapids, but I got to look at some of the damage, and the Weather Channel saw some of our footage and they wanted to talk to me, so I was featured in this documentary called The Earth Unlocked.
Wow.
And it was about wind. So I personally have not seen it, but every so often I'll get a message from a viewer being like, hey, I saw you on the Weather Channel, and then that's when I know it aired. So I guess the season finale of it aired back in 2022, so it's been airing off and on for the last few years. So I got to get in contact with them to...
you got to watch it.
Yeah, to watch it. But yeah, it was a whole thing. I went back up to the station, and they got me to talk about it, and just kind of reliving that experience. It was pretty wild, so.
Yeah, that was just scary for everyone. I mean, what a time that was.
It was, yeah.
Holy cow. Well, mine's a little less heavy. Shocker. I'm going to throw it back to, well, Darby would have been here almost 4. So this would have been June. So she's born in August. So she's 3 and almost 4. This was her very first ever dance recital. There she is.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Right in the middle of the crowd.
Yes.
And it's because this weekend she has a dance competition with her little dance team at Above the Bar, which we love Above the Bar. And so we're wishing Darby good luck.
Yes, good luck to Darby.
And so with that coming up this weekend, I thought, oh, how cute just to go back.
Climbing up the dancing ranks.
3-year-old Darbs in the little dance outfits. So it's very cute seeing them up there. All right, thank you so much for watching QCL.
Your News at 4 with Sharon is coming up next. Have a great evening. We'll see you tomorrow.